It's a great pleasure. It's a great pleasure. It's a great pleasure to have all of you here today. I thought you all might begin your tour here.
It is a great pleasure having you all here today. Welcome to ECOMM Carry On. My name is Phil Lay.
And I'm Chris Morley. And today we're going to look at what's making news in e-commerce. First, we've got a breaking story. Quick Sales and Trading Post announced a partnership which is sure to rattle the online trade.
US site Zeek Rewards shut down by the SEC with Aussie investors losing out.
And last night, Phil and I went to Shop Talk in Melbourne. We got an exclusive interview with Harvey Norman e-commerce director, Gordon Nugent, and we share that with you.
Let's get into it.
And breaking news, the car sales group that owns quicksales.com.au has announced a new partnership with tradingpost.com.au, which will see Quick Sales operate tradingpost.com.au. Massive news for our marketplace. And Phil, I believe you suggested something similar back in 2007.
Well, back in 2007, we wrote a strategy paper for Trading Post suggesting that they purchase Auction rather than build their own site. That message was lost with them, and they went ahead and spent $250 million building the Trading Post site, which failed dismally. So this has really come to full circle now.
Yeah.
Quick Sales now has taken over Trading Post.
Absolutely, and Trading Post did massive damage to their brand by this online venture. It was failed from the start. They ruined the print.
Yeah, what was interesting, they killed the print before they actually really went online properly, and it just basically killed the business. And it was an iconic brand, 98% brand recognition by all Australians. Now they're starting at scratch again, but hey, this seems like a good move.
Yeah, absolutely, and Quick Sales customers will be happy to know that potentially they get 4 million views with the combined sites, so this is a good way to take on eBay.
Absolutely.
This week we learnt of a US-based auction site, Zeek Rewards, that was shut down by the SEC, who claimed it was part of a $600 million Ponzi scheme. And Phil, this came to our attention because some Aussie investors were losing out.
Yeah, look, a friend of mine rang me about a month ago and said, do I know anything about this Zeek Rewards site? And I had a quick look, and I looked at the setup of it, which was basically a bid auction or a reverse auction,
yep.
A complicated model. He had told me about some friends who'd put $2,000 into the scheme, hadn't had to do any work, and a month later they turned $2,000 into $3,000. I actually said to him at the time, well, there's no free lunches, mate, so there's absolutely something wrong with this, and I wouldn't be surprised if it goes belly up.
Yeah, and this story also highlighted the bid fee auction method, whereby users bid to auction on items, which is completely different from eBay and Quick Sales, where it's free. And essentially this is gambling, Phil.
This is gambling, and look, authorities need to look at this. In America, they've actually tightened up on this sort of scheme, and the UK are actually dragging their feet a bit, and certainly Australian authorities will be onto this sort of thing too, I guess.
Last night, Phil and I attended the Melbourne Shop Talk e-commerce meetup at the Honey Bar in South Melbourne. We got an exclusive interview with Gordon Nugent, e-commerce director of Harvey Norman. Let's take a look.
Gordon Nugent, the online manager for Harvey Norman. Gordon, how are you enjoying Shop Talk in Melbourne?
That's fantastic. It's actually great to be here. I've been to the events in Sydney, and it's just the extension of that, and there's such a whole new crowd and a whole new industry down here, so it's really great.
So Gordon, what are you doing for Christmas, getting ready for Christmas?
Well, we've got a lot happening on the website. We've got a whole heap of new releases coming up on the website to make functionality even easier for the customer. Obviously getting ready for the Christmas rush about products, logistics, getting the stores ready. So for us, it's not about the website, it's about our multi-channel, omni-channel experience. So making sure the experience online and in store gives a great Christmas experience.
So Harvey Norman came under a lot of criticism early on for being sort of anti-online. It seems that the company's really embraced online now.
We've always embraced online, you know. In fact, we had a website 10 years ago, and I think we're actually, progressing really well with online. We've launched our mobile platform, we've launched online, we're integrating with our in-store channel experience as well, and we're out there doing an omni-channel experience with all our customers. So I think Harvey Norman has embraced online, and it's just getting on with business now.
What do you think are the biggest changes are going to be in e-commerce over the next 12 months?
Well, I think we've got continued pressure from overseas. We've got obviously pressure in retail in general. Retail is tough, but I think out there's people doing it really well, and I think we just continue to learn and give great customer service and great customer experience, and I think retail just continues on.
Great, well thanks for your time on ECOMM Carry On today.
No worries, thank you very much. Cheers.
Thanks for watching, and we hope you enjoyed the show. We'll have some more footage and interviews from last night's shop tour, so please check out the Online Market Experts website.
I can confirm that Phil didn't buy a drink at all last night at Shop Talk, but we'll be in Sydney on Wednesday night for Shop Talk at the Belvedere Hotel on Kent Street from 6:15. Come along and enjoy the free informative session and hit Phil up for a drink when the tab runs out.
And don't bother about asking me for a drink, but we'll also on Tuesday be at the Opera House in Sydney for the Channel Advisor Inside event. I believe there's still tickets available, so please check out the Channel Advisor website.
Absolutely, and look, keep the conversation going. Join us on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, follow the blog and subscribe to the YouTube clip. Thanks for joining us. See you next week.
See you next week.